welcome to LA Radio, the best local radio for your local news. Today that right there, in front of our studio, is a homeless man shooting up some heroin. I'm going to bust my brains out if security doesn't get this man off our property. Okay, thank you, security. So I'm accompanied today by Bill Hartz, Reporter Slim, and Stacy Cook. And we got some very important sports story with Bill Hartz.
Hi.
Actually, scratch that. We do not have a sports story. They just called in. The sports story was about 3 days old. We're going to skip over to weather with Reporter Skim.
Jason, it's Slim, okay?
Alright. Same thing.
And now, for today's weather, it's been the same since last decade. It's just been a low of 90 degrees and a high of 105. Yeah, it's just been like that since forever. And we have a low chance of clouds this evening. Jason, what is a cloud?
Well, a cloud is something the sun god sends in when it's angry. Now, you see, when the sun god gets angry, he sends rain. And rain's scary, okay?
Sounds completely terrifying, but now, let's go to local news.
So, I think that's the homeless man back with the gun. But there has been an increase of homelessness here in the beautiful city of LA due to the increase of migration from Mexico. I mean, why LA? We're literally like the armpit, like the second armpit next to Florida. I mean, like, come on. But 25% of the migrants are homeless and desperate, which means they'll do anything to get what they want, including your money, if that wasn't implied. And I think it's getting a little bit out of hand here, and it's kind of scaring me. But that's all the time I have for this story. Remember, be cautious, stay safe, and in the city of LA. And now for the current state of the rights with Stacy Cook.
Thank you, Jason. 4 Los Angeles policemen, 3 of them white, were acquitted of the savage beating of Rodney King, an African-American man. Caught on camera by a bystander, a graphic video of the attack was broadcast into homes across the nation and worldwide. In fury over the acquittal, stoked by years of racial and economic inequality in the city, spilled over into the streets, resulting in 5 days of rioting in Los Angeles. It ignited a national conversation about racial and economic disparity and police use of force that continues today. End quote.
What?
It seems that our quote has been denied. He refuses to quote. So, Stacy, right back to you.
All right. So I'll just read it. Okay. End quote. When the verdict came out, it was a stunner for people coast to coast. My jaw dropped, says Jody David Armour, a criminal justice and law professor at the University of Southern California. Another quote, there was ocular proof of what happened. It seemed compelling, he says of the videotape, and yet we saw a verdict that told us we couldn't trust our lying eyes, that what we thought was open and shut was really a reasonable expression of police control toward a black motorist. A year later, in March 1991, King, who was on parole for robbery, has led police on a high-speed chase through Los Angeles. Later, he was charged with driving under the influence. This is a horrible abuse of power. I can't believe they would just acquit them, even when the evidence is right in front of their eyes. But that's all the information we have for this, and now for World News with Reporter Slim.
Here I am in France. Don't ask me how I got here. And, as you can hear from my chilling voice,